Ladies and gentlemen, good evening and welcome back to our YouTube channel once again. And it is my hope and prayer that this video is actually going to find you guys in good health. Personally, I am fine, as you can see. Kisumu is also fantastic, and maybe you could also let me know where you're watching the video from, the county or the country, in case you are out of the republic. Ladies and gentlemen, I've always opined on this platform that in politics nothing happens out of mere coincidence, and that everything in politics is normally well planned, well scripted, and executed to achieve a specific political objective. Nothing in politics just happens for the sake of it. Why do you think William Ruto is insisting on the implementation of housing levy? Because William Ruto himself understands that that housing levy is very unpopular amongst Kenyans.
Upande wa manyumba, nani anakuwa? Nani anakuwa? Nani anakuwa? Nani anakuwa?
So why is he insisting on it? The truth of the matter is that even the courts have declared that levy unconstitutional. But William Ruto is still insisting on implementing that housing levy. Why do you think William Ruto is insisting? Because let us even look at it from this angle. Kenyans are facing serious challenges. But do you think housing is one of those challenges? And I tend to agree with Opio and I on this.
I am sure the average age of members of parliament in this house is about 40 years or so. Let me ask you, say 50. Let me ask you, for the time you have lived on this earth, in your village, who have you ever heard that has died because of lack of house or shelter? Who has died in your village for lack of a house? I can tell you, the majority of the people who have died in the villages have died because of hunger, lack of food. I can tell you, who did this survey or research to come up with this need for houses for Kenyans? Who asked you for houses? Who asked you? Why are you addressing a problem that is not there? Why can't you deal with the problem which is there, which is lack of food, Mr. Chairman?
So yesterday, the Court of Appeal, I'm just trying to get the ruling here, declined to suspend the High Court order that declared the housing levy unconstitutional. Last year, I think it must have been in November, the High Court made a ruling on the housing levy. Tata and others had actually gone to court to declare the levy unconstitutional. So the ruling was made yesterday. So the article says here, in a ruling delivered on Friday, Appellant Court judges Lydia Achode, John Mativo, and Paul Gashoka cited public interest in the matter, underscoring the High Court ruling that the housing levy was introduced without the legal framework. The truth is, even William Ruto and Kenya Kwanza understands that there are certain elements, legal framework, which they did not put in place. And that's why they were trying now to go through the public participation. Of course, they are going through that process, but majority of Kenyans are also saying that they don't want that levy. But of course, in this country, public participation is just for it. So let me just read for you a bit of the ruling. The trial court held that the housing levy was introduced without legal framework. It also held that the levy was targeting a section of Kenyans. In our view, public interest lies in awaiting the termination of the appeal. This is because if the stay sought is granted at this stage, should the appellate court affirm the impunged decision, then some far-reaching decisions that will have been undertaken pursuant to the impunged laws may not be reversible. So actually, today in the Republic of Kenya, Kenyans are asking for a refund.
We demand all house levy deductions to be refunded with interest immediately. We demand the costs to be respected by the employers just like the employees do. Any employer, person or entities who deduct this illegal tax from the worker's salary will bear individual responsibility. And the unions shall also use its only weapon that employers understand, withdrawals of services, and also acting on contempt individually to the employers.
Today is a wonderful day. Housing levy gone. And we are not going to allow you to continue deducting.
But William Ruto and his team are adamant. Why do you think they are adamant that the housing levy must continue? That's exactly what I want to reveal to you guys in this video. Before we do that, for those who are watching this channel for the first time, please take a second or two, click that subscribe button so that next time we produce a video like this, YouTube will automatically notify you. And to the subscribers, I want to continue thanking you guys for your continued support. Because without that support, this channel cannot be where it is. Ladies and gentlemen, without any further ado, allow me to dive in. But before I dive in, allow me to also take this opportunity to thank the following people. You are seeing their names on the screen there for the coffee which they sent to me earlier today. A cup of coffee only goes for 200. You can also do the same using the numbers on your screen because it's going us a long way in supporting the channel. Ladies and gentlemen, why do you think William Ruto and his team are adamant? First of all, let us listen to Kipchumba Murkomen.
Mimi niko kwa uongozi ya umoja chini ya rais wetu William Samoei Ruto na naibu wa rais Rigathi Gachagua. And let me say this, we are united as one team, as government. We are one focused government focusing on development of the people of Kenya. Na mimi kama katika baraza la mawaziri nataka niwahakikishie we will work together to make a difference. The last, msiogope hii maneno ya kotini. Kotini ilisema kwa mambo ya housing, ilisema rekebisheni sheria kidogo, mcreate a fund, mfanye hii. Ikakuwa tu hawa majudges wa Court of Appeal wameharakisha kutoa kutoa ile order yenye stay ilikuwa, wangetupatia tu time kidogo na wanajua kweli bunge itabadilisha vile itabadilisha.
Then let us listen to Kimani Kuria, the chair of the Finance Committee.
It's really unfortunate. The court decision today is really unfortunate. However, luckily we had already started this legal process of creating this legislation, and the court, and I think it's important to clarify. Reading by the judgment of the court, the judgment was not granting stay orders before the court is heard and determined, because remember, the National Assembly did appeal the area ruling. So what was rejected today are the stay orders, which I know our legal team are going to appeal on. But at the same time, we are already almost done with now having a legislative framework. Now, and this is why we are doing this public hearings across the country.
Still the same. Let us listen to Kimani Ichung'wah, the majority leader in the National Assembly. What is he saying about this levy?
Na leo Mheshimiwa Rais, tumeona mahakama ya rufaa imekubaliana na mahakama kuu High Court ya kusimamisha ile housing levy fund ambayo inasaidia hawa vijana wa hapa Mtwati, housing ikuje wapate kazi. Sasa mimi Mheshimiwa Rais, hata kama tunaheshimu uamuzi wako wa kuongea na mahakama, nataka niulize watu ya Mtwati, hiyo mahakama imewaletea kazi hapa? Rais aendelee kupanga kazi ya housing ama asiendelee? Aendelee, asiendelee? Your Excellency, you know, the masters of state capture, we have said it before, and that is a conversation, Your Excellency, I must insist we must continue with. Those who captured our state, they have also captured our judiciary to undermine, to sabotage all government programs that are benefiting the people of Kenya. Your Excellency, that conversation must not end. We must begin the conversation.
What about the President, William Samoei Ruto? What is Ruto saying about this levy?
Mimi nawaulize, serikali ya Kenya ipange ajira ya hawa vijana ama tusipange? Si tupange vijana ya hawa wakuwe na kazi? Ama mnasemaje? Ati kuna watu wameenda kotini ya kwamba tusimamishe program ya housing. Mnataka isimame iendelee? Isimame iendelee? Sisi tumewaambia wale wako kotini, tunaheshimu mahakama na tutaenda kufanya appeal na tutatengeneza sheria ili mambo ya vijana wa Kenya, ajira ipatikane. Vijana mamilioni wanahangaika madukani vijijini kwa sababu wamemaliza shule lakini hakuna mpango ya vile watapata ajira. It is the first time in the Republic of Kenya that we have an administration that has a clear, demonstrable, practical plan.
So I've played those clips because I've played Kipchumba Murkomen, who is part and parcel of the cabinet and a close ally of William Ruto. I've also played for you the clip of the chair of the finance committee. Very critical. He's the one who, I think, proposed this bill. Then I've also played for you the clip of Kimani Ichung'wah, the majority leader in the National Assembly, very key, and William Samoei Arap Ruto. All of them are insisting that this housing levy is going to be implemented. So the question is, why are they insisting? Let me reveal to you guys the truth. They are insisting because, number one, Kenya Kwanza had identified housing as their flagship project. When Kenya Kwanza were campaigning, they didn't have a clear strategy on how they were going to implement their alleged plan. Because in their plan, they had very clear path on what they wanted to do. But really, they didn't have the plan. So 1 year has gone. The truth is, it's only this year they can implement something. Next year, the country shall have changed to campaign mode. So they realize that they cannot deal with the issue of employment. They promise Kenya's job, that they can't do. So the easiest thing which can be seen is those housing. Because once you construct a house, it will stand there, whether it's going to serve its purpose or not. So they wanted, because Uhuru Kenyatta had the SGR and the expressway. Those one you can't take from Uhuru Kenyatta. Kibaki changed the infrastructure of the Republic of Kenya, and also he overturned the state of economy. You can't take that away from him. What will be flagship project for Ruto? He wanted to ride on the housing project. And that's why he's even launching projects which Uhuru Kenyatta had completed by the time he was leaving office. So if this is going to be declared unconstitutional by the courts, tell me one thing or one project Kenya Kwanza has done. Because we are seeing William Ruto moving across the country. What is he doing? The other day he was in some school, was it some technical school, to launch laboratory. When Uhuru Kenyatta was alive, Matiang'i used to launch those small projects, the relevant ministers. So that is the first reason. They want the housing project to be their flagship project. Number two is about rewarding the people who funded the campaigns. The truth is, in every political campaign, it is normally funded. So someone somewhere must fund a political campaign. How do they recoup back their money? Someone will come to you, I have this 500 million Kenyan shillings, I want to pump it in your campaign. What happens next? We agree. Once you get in, you'll give me tenders. So during the campaign, those guys sat and figured out the best way to reward these people is to have this housing project progress. Then you ensure or you come up with a policy. The only problem is that these guys did not follow the right procedure. Then how do we fund it? Because it's very intensive. You fund it by deducting a certain percentage. So for housing levy, it's 1.5%. So you say 1.5% from the employee, 1.5% from the employer. So which means any working individual in the Republic of Kenya, you get 3%. So that's enough money. Then you float the tenders. Then who wins the tenders? No, your people can now come and bid. So because you have several of them, it means everybody will be covered. But what happens if this project is declared unconstitutional? Where do you take those people? Number three, this housing levy was one of the best strategies for raising campaign funds. In 2013, 2017, the campaign funds were raised through SGR. That's why those people who are still supporting Ruto, some of them really made money during that time. especially through SGR. You supply bitumen, you supply the steel. So for housing levy, there are metals, steel metals. How many do you think will be needed? There are cement. And the other day I was reading somewhere that Ruto has a lot of interest in cement. And that, Kenya Kwanza can agree with the supply of the cement. So that's why I began by asking you, who are the contractor? So in this case, you also need to figure out who is supplying cement, who is supplying metal to this housing project. So normally they can say, okay, per bag of cement, let me contribute 50 bob. We'll go to your kitty, Kenya Kwanza. So you just take a record. This project imechukua simiti ngapi? Hii imechukua simiti ngapi? So ultimately, at the end of the day, I have your 1 billion or 600 million. That's for campaign. You'll be taken back. So that's how campaign money are normally raised, through budget. When you hear people like Kimani Ichung'wah alleging that Uhuru Kenyatta played with some dollars, those are how they are played smart. Number 4, IMF. You see, IMF are the ones controlling the government. So they've told the government, we need money. So how do we get money? Tax. How do we tax? We need to build houses. Okay? Tax people. So you'll have money to play around with. But if you ask me, William Ruto is also keen on this housing levy, especially the matter in court, because he wants to see how these judges of the judiciary is going to operate with him. Are they going to obey him? Or are they going to disregard? Because William Ruto is very clear that for him, the housing levy must proceed. Yeah. So basically, he's trying to intimidate the judges. And the challenge he has is that William Ruto wanted to project himself as someone who obeys court orders. But now they are defying. It means he's in a serious dilemma. The court must rule in his favor. I don't know what you think. That's my take. Until next time, this is Makwiny. Bye-bye.